Why is it that every whisper from California seems to echo in the UK media as a scream from Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex? It's a question that has been bouncing around recently, and it's not without its merits. The UK media's fascination with the Sussexes has certainly reached an unprecedented level. It seems that every little occurrence in California is dissected, spun and regurgitated with a Harry and Meghan angle. But what's really at the heart of this obsession? Is it a genuine interest in the lives of the Sussexes, or is it simply a money-making scheme, a way to drive clicks and sell papers? It's hard to say for certain, but the latter seems more plausible. After all, controversy sells, and what could be more controversial than the Sussexes' decision to break away from the royal family and establish their own life in California? However, this obsession is not without its consequences. It's not just about the Sussexes' privacy, although that's a significant concern. The real issue is how this obsession is affecting the quality of news reporting. When the UK media is more interested in creating a narrative about Harry and Meghan than reporting on actual events, it's a problem. Take, for example, the recent tsunami warning in California. Instead of focusing on the event itself, the UK media was more interested in how they could tie it to the Sussexes. It's as if they were hoping for some sort of disaster to befall Harry and Meghan just so they could have another headline. And when the tsunami came and went without incident, they simply moved on to the next non-story. This kind of sensationalism isn't just irresponsible, it's dangerous. It undermines the public's trust in the media, and it distracts from the real issues at hand. Instead of being informed about world events, readers are fed a steady diet of gossip and speculation. The UK media is more interested in creating a narrative about the Sussexes than reporting on actual events. It's a sad state of affairs, but it's the reality we're living in, and it's high time we started demanding better. It's almost as if the UK media sees the Sussexes as their golden goose. Indeed, there seems to be an insatiable appetite for any news, no matter how trivial or irrelevant, that can somehow be linked to Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex. Consider the recent tsunami warning in California. An event of natural calamity, one would think, would be reported on its own merit, focusing on the potential risk to lives and property. But no, the UK media saw an opportunity to weave in the Sussexes, who happen to reside in California. It's as though every occurrence in the Golden State must somehow be connected to Harry and Meghan. The audacity of such a narrative is astonishing. The underlying message seems to be, look, something's happening in California, how can we tie this to Harry and Meghan? This desperation to create headlines involving the Sussexes is not just far-fetched, it's downright bizarre. One could argue that this is merely a reflection of the public's interest in the couple. But isn't there a responsibility on the part of the media to provide accurate, relevant news? Instead, they seem intent on twisting every occurrence to fit their Sussex-centric narrative, regardless of how tenuous the link might be. This fixation on Harry and Meghan is not just about generating headlines, it's a reflection of the UK media's skewed priorities. The real news, the tsunami warning in this case, becomes a mere footnote, overshadowed by the relentless focus on the Sussexes. The fact that the tsunami happened and no one was affected is lost in the frenzy to somehow implicate Harry and Meghan in the narrative. It's a sad commentary on the state of the UK media when the lives and actions of two individuals take precedence over more pressing and relevant news. It's not about informing the public anymore. It's about capitalising on the popularity of the Sussexes no matter the cost. The UK media's desperation to capitalise on the Sussexes is a clear sign of their priorities. And it's high time we took notice and demanded better. But what about the real news, the events that are truly affecting people's lives? We've been so caught up in the whirlwind of the UK media's obsession with Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex that we've lost sight of the real issues. It's as if the media's endless fixation with the Sussexes has cast a shadow over the events that should be taking centre stage. Just imagine a tsunami warning in the beautiful state of California, a natural disaster of enormous potential looming over the lives of millions of people. The anxiety, the fear, the uncertainty, these are the stories that should be told, the narratives that should be unfolding before our eyes. Instead, we're served with yet another desperate attempt to connect the Sussexes to unrelated events thousands of miles away. It's almost as if the media is hoping for the Sussexes to be affected, just so they can have another sensational headline. This obsession isn't just detrimental to the Sussexes, it's harmful to us, the general public. It's distorting our perception of reality, shifting our focus from real, tangible issues to futile, inconsequential gossip. The real news here, the fact that should be plastered across every front page, is that the tsunami happened, and thankfully, no one was affected. That's the story, that's the headline. But instead, we're left with manufactured connections and baseless assumptions, all at the expense of the Sussexes. The role of the media is to inform, to enlighten, to expose the truth. But when did the truth become so twisted? When did the narrative become so skewed? When did the real news become so overshadowed by the personal lives of two individuals who simply want to live their lives away from the relentless glare of the public eye? The UK media, it seems, has lost its way. It's lost sight of its purpose, its duty, its responsibility to the public. It's failing to fulfill its role as a source of reliable news. Instead, it's become a mere puppet, dancing to the tune of sensationalism and scandal at the cost of truth and integrity. The UK media is failing to fulfill its role as a source of reliable news. And what about the truth? Does it even matter to the UK media anymore? As we delve deeper into the falsehoods perpetrated by the UK media, we see a clear pattern of distortion and deceit. There's an almost palpable disregard for the truth when it comes to their coverage of the Sussexes. This is no mere exaggeration, it's a deliberate twisting of facts, a calculated move to create sensational headlines and keep the public's attention hooked. One glaring instance of this is their coverage of the recent tsunami warning in California. The event itself was of significant importance, requiring immediate attention and serious reporting. Yet what did the UK media focus on? They brazenly connected it to Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex, going as far as to insinuate that the Sussexes could somehow be blamed for the natural disaster. This wasn't an isolated incident. Time and again, we've seen the media blow things out of proportion, connecting every event in California to the Sussexes, irrespective of its relevance. It's as if they are on a desperate hunt to find a link, any link, that would make their story more tantalizing, more scandalous. The truth, however, is often far from what these headlines suggest. The tsunami happened, yes, but no one was affected. This crucial piece of information was conveniently overlooked by the UK media. They were more interested in spinning a tale of impending doom and linking it to the Sussexes rather than reporting the actual facts. This blatant disregard for the truth is not just unethical, it's a clear sign of their moral bankruptcy. Their obsession with the Sussexes seems to have eclipsed their responsibility towards accurate reporting. It's a sad state of affairs when the quest for sensationalism trumps the commitment to truth. The UK media's disregard for the truth in their coverage of the Sussexes is a clear sign of their moral bankruptcy. They've shown us time and again that their priorities lie not in upholding journalistic integrity, but in exploiting the Sussexes for their own gain. So, where do we go from here? How can we push back against this tide of sensationalism and misinformation? It's high time we take a stand against this blatant distortion of facts. We must rise above the noise, above the clamour for attention, and scrutinise the news we consume. We must understand that news is not a soap opera, where the truth can be twisted to fit a narrative. It's a reflection of our world, a mirror that should portray reality, not a distorted caricature of it. But how do we do this, you ask? Firstly, we need to be active, not passive consumers of news. We must question the headlines, delve deeper than the surface, and seek out multiple sources before forming our opinions. The truth is often nuanced, lying somewhere between the sensational headlines and the fine print. Secondly, we need to hold the media accountable. We can do this by voicing our concerns, by refusing to engage with outlets that prioritize sensationalism over truth, and by supporting those that uphold the principles of honest, unbiased reporting. Remember, every click, every share, every comment is a vote for the kind of media we want to see. Furthermore, We must educate ourselves about the media landscape, about the pressures and influences that shape the news we consume. Only when we understand the system can we effectively push for change. Finally, remember that the media is a business. It thrives on our attention, our engagement. If we want better, we must demand better. We must not let the media dictate the narrative. We must challenge it, question it, and reshape it. In this age of information overload, let's strive for understanding, not just knowledge. Let's seek truth, not just news. Let's demand better from our media for the sake of our society, for the sake of our future. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let's challenge the narrative and demand better from our media.